All right, guys, here we go. Just a real quick video on the platinum futures. And the reason being, we just want to update the price action, kind of see where we are, where we might be going. And as you remember, the Economic Ninja and I had done a few videos on the futures, micro futures, commodities. And then but the Economic Ninja really likes the platinum futures, obviously for good reason, as we're in this just very steady great looking chart here, formation to the upside. So we wanted to do a quick video on current price action. So here we go. We're going to first of all build this chart with you here. And we have this long-term uptrend line we feel is a valid, reliable source of price action support at this time. And then also we're going to put the 50 simple day on there. As you can see, going back to October, about the middle of October, it's been holding for us, and most recently in December. Okay. And then what we're running into today, of course, nothing obviously goes straight up. We're running into this high pivot zone up here. Let me make that red for resistance here. And a little double pivot here, high pivot rejection, even came up, tested it on the 13th of December, came back in, as we can see, into the 50 and our long-term uptrend line. A little off topic here, if you have two or more factors, then you have basically an 83% chance of price moving in the direction that your thesis that you believe it will, meaning that we hit the 50. That's one factor. Number two was this long-term uptrend, and it's been helping with support this whole time. So our thesis is that we would get a rotation and a bounce there, basically a pivot on 180, and that's what has happened. Now currently, what's going on today? Let me put on our 8 exponential, and what the little secret is here today. We're coming into what they call a bow tie. Okay, so when one moving average, it doesn't matter what moving average it is, 50, the 100, the 200, the 20, anyway, you get two moving averages crossing and touching, and if price is coming up from the bottom, from the downside, it works as resistance, as we see. The opposite if it's coming down into it. Okay, so yeah, it's a tough day for platinum to try to get up and over. You have 1, 2, the 20 is 3, and then the 8 exponential, it's the fourth, tough little near term resistance levels to get over. So yeah, we might need to pull back a little further, maybe even retest this 50 and this uptrend line, and have some sideways price consolidation to build a base, a foundation, so to speak, in order to break up and out of this little double top or two pivot location at the red dash line. Now, in the meantime, if we pull back, what we're looking for is two or more factors, safety nets, so to speak, as price pulls back. Now, as you can see here, they don't line up perfectly, but just a general location. Oh, wow. See, we already wicked down into that area, and it held as support. Yesterday actually. Okay, so you have a high pivot here that was previous resistance, as we did a 180 down, held the 50, held the long-term uptrend line, popped up, retested that breakout area. That's another little trick. Okay, once price breaks a support or resistance zone, most times it'll come back, retest that zone, or kind of return to the scene of the crime, and then continue on. That's what we saw there. So even if we trade sideways to down over the next into next week or whatever, this will be our first support zone we'll be watching. Now why do we think platinum could continue? Let me clear this chart out a little bit, and let's go to the dollar. Okay, now I don't know if you follow us on Twitter, Crypto Charts Joe on Twitter, but the other day we said that when the dollar came down into the zone, we had we named the exact price actually at that blue dash line, and we did all this before price moved, so timestamps don't lie. Okay, but anyway, we said when we got there, we would bounce, and then metals, stocks, cryptos would roll over a little bit. And that's exactly what happened. But there was more support more weakness of the dollar, more support, for risk on assets and commodities. So as you see, we started moving to that side. As you can see on the chart over here, we're practically all green today. And at the start of the day, today being Friday, at this recording, on the hourly chart, the dollar ran up. And as it ran up, what happened? Yeah, commodities, gold and silver started trading a little weaker. Assets did, cryptos, etc. Then we hit the 200. That's another video about that. And then we started rolling over. And then what did you see? The weakness of the dollar caused what? Inverse correlation of, higher prices, stronger market, in gold, even oil, in the futures and commodities. So anyway, as the dollar gets weaker and comes back down into this zone, we feel that not only platinum but other micro futures and future markets, risk on assets in the U.S. stock markets will get a little bounce there. But I appreciate you guys watching the video. Have a great weekend, and we will see you on the charts.